So, what if I told you that your most tedious, soul crushing DevOps tasks could be handled by a dedicated team of AI assistants? I'm talking about a crew that works together seamlessly to build, test, and deploy your software with, honestly, superhuman efficiency. It sounds like something out of a sci fi movie, right? Well, it might be closer than you think. Today, we're going to dive into some brand new research that actually built this exact system. And the results? Well, they're pretty mind blowing. All right, but before we jump into all the cool stuff, we have to do the quick legal bit. Just remember, everything we're about to talk about is for informational and entertainment purposes only. This is not professional advice of any kind, and we don't guarantee any results. So please always do your own research. Okay, let's get to it. So here's the game plan for today. We're going to start by looking at the core problem, the DevOps dilemma. Then we'll see how we got from simple scripts to intelligent agents. After that, we'll meet the AI Dream Team itself, see how they did in a head-to-head showdown, and finally wrap up with what all of this really means for you, the developer. Okay, so first things first. What's the big deal with DevOps anyway? To really get why a team of AI agents is such a potential game changer, you first have to understand the daily headaches that this whole field is trying to solve. Let's talk about the DevOps dilemma. The easiest way to think about DevOps is like a super efficient assembly line, but for software. The whole point is to get an idea out of a developer's head and into the hands of a user as fast and as reliably as humanly possible. It's all about tearing down the walls between the dev people who build the code and the ops people who run it, trying to create one smooth, automated process. But here's the dirty little secret. For all its talk about sleek automation, a ton of DevOps work is still this painful manual slog. Developers spend hours and hours just wrestling with these super complex configuration files, hunting for one tiny misplaced comma, and just trying to keep all the moving pieces from crashing down. It is a recipe for burnout, and it's exactly this kind of complex, repetitive work where AI is just perfectly suited to make a huge difference. Now, the researchers behind this didn't just jump straight to building an AI super team. No. Their journey started with a couple of crucial first steps, and it shows this really fascinating evolution in how you should apply AI to a problem like this. So, their first shot at this was a pretty classic script-based system. You can think of it like a robot on an old factory line. It's programmed to do one specific task, and it does it over and over again. Sure, it was accurate, but it was completely inflexible. You couldn't ask it to do anything new. So the next logical step was to replace those rigid scripts with a single AI agent that could actually think. So how in the world does an AI agent think? Well, it uses this really clever framework called REACT, which stands for reasoning and acting. It's not magic, it's just a logical loop. Imagine a detective solving a crime. The agent has a thought, like, okay, I need to check the server status. Then it takes an action, proposing the command to actually do that. And then it observes the result. This simple thought-action-result loop is what lets it handle really complex problems and even learn from its own mistakes. And this was a massive improvement in flexibility. You can now just tell the agent what you wanted in plain English. But, even a really smart agent working all by itself has its limits. If it hit an error it had never seen before, it could get stuck, just spinning its wheels, unable to fix the problem. And that leads us to the big breakthrough. The single agent was a huge leap forward, no doubt, but it was still a solo act. So the researchers asked, what if, instead of one agent trying to do everything, you had a whole team of specialists, each with their own unique skill? This is where the research takes a truly groundbreaking turn. Let's meet the crew. Think of it like a special ops team for your code. First up, you've got the reasoning agent. That's the team leader, the strategist who plans the whole mission. Then you have the prompt agent, the communications expert. It takes what you ask for and polishes it into a perfect, crystal clear instruction for the AI. And finally, my personal favorite, the reflector agent. This is the medic, the problem solver. When a command fails, this agent jumps in, analyzes the error, and figures out exactly how to fix it. That ability to self-correct, that's the team's superpower. And keeping this whole high-performance team in sync is the agent orchestrator. It's basically the project manager, calling the right agent for the right play at the right time, making sure the entire workflow just runs like a well-oiled machine from start to finish. Okay, so we've met the team. It sounds awesome on paper, but how does this AI dream team actually perform against the competition? Well, it's time for the ultimate showdown. Let's look at the results and see who came out on top. And this chart just brilliantly shows the power of teamwork. That bar on the left, the old script system, yeah, it had a high success rate, but only for a tiny handful of tasks it was programmed for. The middle bar, our solo agent, was way more flexible, but it only got the job done about 69% of the time. But now, look at that third bar, the multi-agent team. Its success rate just rockets up to over 86%. That's what happens when you have a dedicated problem solver on your team. Let that number sink in for a second. 86.11% success on a whole range of complex, real-world DevOps tasks, all without a human needing to step in. This proves that this team-based idea isn't just cool, it's incredibly effective. But what about speed? I mean, that's the other half of the story, right? The old script-based system, on the far left, was just chugging along at over 75 seconds per task. Both the single agent and the multi-agent team absolutely destroyed that time, clocking in at around 35 seconds. So not only is it way more reliable, it's more than twice as fast. So here's the bottom line. The old script system, accurate but rigid. The single agent, fast and flexible, but it made a lot of mistakes. But the multi-agent system, it delivered the best of both worlds. You get the speed and flexibility of AI, but with the kind of reliability that only comes from specialized, collaborative problem solving. So the results are in, and it's pretty clear the multi-agent system is a total game changer. But this isn't just about building a faster tool. This research is really pointing to a fundamental shift in how developers are going to work with artificial intelligence. And here's maybe the most important part of this whole thing. You are still in the driver's seat. The system was designed with what's called a human-in-the-loop approach. Think of it like having an expert co-pilot. The AI handles all the complex procedures and routine stuff, but before any command actually runs, it's presented to you for approval. You get the final say, always. And this isn't just about convenience, it is absolutely critical for trust. By keeping the developer in control, we're not just stopping accidents from happening. We're building a future where AI is a true partner, not some mysterious black box. It's a future where we can use the incredible speed of AI without ever giving up our own expertise and final judgment. You know, don't just take my word for it. The researchers themselves said it best. This control mechanism, this human-in-the-loop thing, was the absolute key to building user trust. When people feel like they have the final say, they are so much more willing to adopt and rely on these incredibly powerful new tools. It's all about augmenting human skill, not replacing it. Which really leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. Based on this research, it feels less like a question of if we'll be working alongside AI agents, and more a question of when. Could your next teammate, your next DevOps engineer, actually be a highly specialized team of AIs? It's looking more and more likely.